I'm going to cheat.
Okay.
I'm going to give you my next two because they're directly connected.
Fair enough.
So this is still in my top. Curious if one of these ends up on one of yours at all. So they're directly connected. My number, I'm going to do this kind of backwards for this to make sense.
Okay.
So my number 3 top,
Yep.
Lucky Stiff.
Well, I guess this is it, Lenny. It was nice knowing you. I'm sorry if I wasn't as good to you as I should have been. You really weren't such a bad guy after all.
That's it? That's the best you can do? I wasn't such a bad guy.
It's not one of my top or bottom.
Okay,
but, yeah.
this is the lottery one.
It's in the top half.
Okay,
but,
that's
yeah.
good. And my number 4 is the second part to that, which is easy come, easy go.
Okay.
So that's my number 4 top. Do you have that one on either?
No.
Wow, we're going to be talking about a lot of different episodes.
A lot of different ones.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you would have had something to say about one of these, but
Nope.
yeah. They're not on your lesser half, though,
Nope,
I guess.
nope, they're
eh?
top half.
They're
Yeah.
better. Okay. They're kind of fun. They're
Yeah.
not great, but I would say of the entire season, this one has the best follow-up episode to the beginner episode.
Yep.
So the B episode, like the C and D plot, this is one of the stronger ones. And that's why I'm like, I'm going to put them together. So I'm kind of cheating. I'm not counting it as one. I'm putting it as two different
They're
slots
two different
because
ones, but-
God help me, I don't want to have to fucking
You don't
talk
want to
about-
have 6.
Right. I was like, no, I'm just going to count it as slot 4 and 3.
Right.
But yeah, no, they're kind of fun.
Yep.
Right off the bat, Lucky Stiff. So let's start with the A episode. Okay. Lucky Stiff. It opens with a man listening to a lotto draw on the radio and he wins.
Yeah.
He wins the $20 million jackpot. The man is played by David Lander, who, I don't know if you caught this cameo. It's a very recognizable voice. He is Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, no, that's a deep cut.
That's a very deep
didn't
cut.
catch
Yeah,
that.
he's got that. Listen to his voice.
I know things have been tough on you, but things are gonna change. I've been reading the classified, and, well, there's a whole new bunch of ads in here, so somebody's gotta hire
I've
me.
been saying that for 6 months.
Did any of you get that? I mean, he did tons of voice work, I believe, as well. He's just got a very, it's one of those voices. As soon as I heard it, I went, this guy, I know this fucking voice. I've heard this from like a cartoon or something. But so we get this opening where he listens to the radio and he wins the lottery draw. And then that's a dream, of course. And then it hard cuts back to reality and it's the same man and he's having plates hurled at his head by like his wife.
His wife, who has no respect for him whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's funny because what she's screaming at him about is the fact that he plays the lottery and they don't have any money, and yet she's breaking plates. Like, they don't have any money, but
you don't have stuff to lose here. What
right?
are you,
She's just like haphazardly, just tossing these fucking plates.
If Art is the character in one of the characters in this series that is like a lady killer, this guy is the schlubby opposite.
Oh, the main guy. Yeah. And he's not, anyways, well, let me keep going here. So, he then like leaves and goes to work and, immediately after that, we find out his wife, Greta, is banging this hot plumber in a scene right out of a cheap porno. It is so fucking funny. It's just like the plumber shows up and she's like, I got some, like, you know what I mean? I got a pipe for you, honey.
Yeah.
Like, it's so over the top. I'm like, oh my God. And then while in bed with her lover, she gets a call from the hospital informing her husband died of a heart attack suddenly, which she takes as like kind of a good thing because they bury Lenny, the schlubby husband. They bury him, have a funeral, and then she immediately marries the plumber guy.
Yep.
Oh my God, hilarious. Cut to like right after we have this marriage, right after we have the marriage ceremony, their married life. The lover's name is Hank the scumbag plumber, and of course, when they're having an affair, he's like Mr. Loverboy and he treats her right. But as soon as they get married, he like just turns into a complete scumbag,
Right.
like instantly.
Right.
He's like messy and he won't clean anything up and he's like mean to her.
He like sleeps all day or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like it's so on the nose, right?
This is the season 2 commentary on marriage, because season 1 had that episode as well where it was basically like marriage is the worst.
Yeah.
It's gonna end your life.
Freddy's
Yeah.
Nightmares is very clear about its stance on marriage.
Do not get married.
Ever. Yeah, ever. If only you had watched this show
Yes,
before.
yes. But it's surprisingly very pro adultery.
Oh, very much so. Spice up your life, buddy.
It loves the idea of just getting out there and putting yourself out there.
Dude, you need to find your Hank.
That's right. Yeah.
You need to find your plumber guy that's going to come over. While all this is going on, Greta randomly hears on the radio that the winning lottery number has been claimed, and the winning lottery number has not been claimed.
Right.
Sorry. And then they read the numbers, and it's the very same numbers her late husband always played.
Yep.
So then she's like, where is the ticket? Like, what happens? And that's what becomes of the plot now is they have to find this missing ticket.
Yep.
So then she has this memory that they buried him in the suit jacket that he had the ticket
And he
in.
always puts it in the same pocket or something.
Right.
Yep.
So then they go in like a harebrained scheme that her and Hank go to the cemetery to dig him up and retrieve the ticket from his corpse, which is it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess they just buried him, so it wouldn't be that bad. But then, I don't know if you remember this. They get to the cemetery and like most people when they're buried are buried just in a plot of dirt. They're not buried how Lenny was buried. Lenny is given his own giant tomb.
He's in like a mausoleum.
He's in a mausoleum and he has like a giant fucking cement coffin that a mummy would have.
Not bad for a guy that has no money and whose wife doesn't love him anymore.
Lenny's doing just fine. Yeah.
He's doing better in death than he ever did in life.
So then they dig him up. They open up the tomb
Yep.
and they check the corpse, but the ticket is nowhere to be found. But then Greta gets a brilliant idea. She thinks, well, I can cut my losses. I can still solve one other problem.
Yeah.
And so she knocks out Loverboy Hank and seals him in the tomb so that she doesn't have to, basically she gets rid of him, gets him out of the picture, because then she also has another memory right around the same. I can't remember if it's right before she does this or right after, but she remembers, oh, the ticket's somewhere else. It's not actually on Lenny.
Yep.
He puts it in a cookie jar. That's what it is. So it's like she gets rid of him. I can't remember if she gets rid of him so she doesn't have to share the profits, or she just gets rid of him get rid of him. But
because he's being a sleazeball.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
So she's tired of his crap.
Yeah. So Greta seals him in this tomb and then leaves and then finds the winning lottery ticket in a cookie jar, and she's like, yes.
Yep.
Greta kind of rules. I kind of like
she
this.
gets her comeuppance.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, she's a terrible person still.
Oh, absolutely.
But
She did have.
They're all terrible people.
Yeah. Oh, no one's good in Freddy's Nightmares. Yeah, it's all morally great people. So the B plot is not as strong. The B plot follows Greta. It's a good connection though. So Greta is now rich and she like lives in a fancy mansion, and she has like a British servant. Who I think is only in this part.
Yes.
They didn't bring her back for the second
episode.
For Easy Come, Easy Go.
I don't think. Yeah.
No, I don't think she's in it. I'm pretty sure she just has the mansion all to herself. This British woman does nothing anyways.
Yeah.
It serves no purpose other than to show you are rich. That's it. It's like her in her mansion and she's like enjoying rich life now. But she's haunted by images of her dead late husband.
Right.
And not the late husband, Hank, the plumber.
The boyfriend.
She's getting images that like he's haunting her, and she's getting all paranoid. And basically she starts going nutty in the mansion. Weird stuff starts happening around the mansion, and she's like driving herself nuts with guilt and also fear that somehow she's going to get caught or some shit like that. Little thing I'm going to point out. So Greta is rich at this point, and only a rich person could afford the phone that she has. She has the coolest known phone, like the coolest phone known to man.
Yeah.
She has the 90s see-through phones. Do you remember those? The see-through like phones. They had those. There was a lot of like see-through tech in the 90s.
It was super big at the time. Yep.
It still holds up.
Yep.
It is. It's actually. They've actually proven this. So this is actually true. They've tested this. The clear phones, if you use them, they give you the clearest possible connection. That is actually how that works.
It's science.
That's
right?
science. And just so you know, NASA to this day still implements these very same phones to contact the astronauts in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, in the military we have them, but I can't speak about it. Right? But
Oh my God.
I've said too much.
Have they made them clearer? Where it's like, it's not just the case that's clear, it's like the board inside is also transparent.
C's podcast.
Terminate. He knows too much. Sibilance.
Dumbass.
Okay, what were we saying? Okay, yeah. So she starts going nuts, and I don't know. Honestly, it kind of drags. They keep doing the same. Like I called them Hank hauntings.
Yep.
What do you want?
Oh, I got what I want, babe. I just came by to say adios.
Greta, I knew you'd come back to me.
They keep doing these Hank hauntings over and over again, and it's like he's like, "Guess who's back, honey? I'm here to kill you." And then she wakes up, and then she falls asleep. And it's like, "Oh, that was a dream." Oh no, it wasn't a dream. Yes, it was. They're kind of doing some of that shit of season 1, Freddy's Nightmares, where it's like, is she asleep? Is she awake?
Yeah.
No, they're all just dreams. It's all bullshit.
The biggest problem with that, and just as a comment for the whole season, is that when you only have 22 minutes to tell an A or a B story, you're wasting time that otherwise you could be using for something else, right? And it's such a letdown when you find out that they were only dreaming, because those dream segments tend to be the most exciting parts of the episode. So when you find out that it never happened, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. All right. I have it referenced in my notes. Every time this happens, I just call them useless dreams. It's another useless dream segment that doesn't push the plot forward, right? There are some episodes in season 2 that actually utilize dreams somewhat effectively, but you're right. This is an example of one. She's just seeing things. Maybe her guilt is getting to her, and understandably, that's what they're trying to say. Like the guilt of this whole situation is catching up with her, but none of the things that she's imagining are actually happening. So it doesn't do anything, which is just lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the weird shit that happens at the mansion is actually happening, because we get our twist ending, which is that when her and Hank went to go dig up the late husband, and she kills Hank by putting him in the tomb.
Yep.
A gravedigger happened to see all this, and the gravedigger then blackmails her and proposes that she become his wife in exchange for his silence.
Yep. Do you know where you've seen him before?
What? No, he's from stuff?
Yeah.
What is he from?
What I recognize him from, he was Goon in Batman 1989. He's one of the Joker's henchmen. He actually has a few lines, so you would definitely recognize him.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He looks like a goon, so that's very fun. It's very appropriate.
He's typecast.
He's in 89 Batman.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think his character is called Goon.
Called Goon. So it's not Bob. It's not like...
Or maybe it's Bob. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Is he the guy that's like, Bob, give me the gun, and he just shoots Bob? Is it that guy?
Is it that guy? Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Batman 1989, but I know as soon as I saw him, I'm like, you're in Batman.
You're like, that face.
Yeah.
Maybe it is that
could
guy.
Be Bob,
it might
actually.
be Bob. Yeah,
now
it might be
that
he might be the henchman guy where he's like,
Bob
Bob,
the Goon. Yeah.
give me the gun. And then he just shoots Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's
Did
your,
that happen? Was it? I don't know. That's okay. That's awesome.
Yep.
So I didn't know that. Thank you for that. So
Yes, that's right. Bob the Goon in Batman.
oh, it is.
Yes, sorry.
Yes. Okay, so it was that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's he's actually in a lot of those scenes. Yeah, he's in. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yes,
And he has like a fairly large role in the next one you're going to talk about. Yeah. So
he's one of the highlights of the next one. Yeah.
Yep.
So this like creepy gravedigger is just like, if you marry me, I'll stay silent and you'll be my bride, my beautiful bride, and I won't tell the authorities what I knows. And she does
She
it.
kind of has no choice, right?
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
It ends with them getting married. Dude, only in Freddy's Nightmares would that actually happen, where it's like, dun, 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 dun,
She's
dun,
like-
dun, and she's like, oh, and he's like, yeah.
And I got a note, reminded me of a half decent Tales from the Crypt episode, which is probably the best,
There it is.
yeah.
You nailed it. That's exactly what I had. I had it written down here. This feels the most like an actual episode of Tales from the Crypt,
Yep.
where it's just a simple, fun premise. This woman having an affair who treats her husband like shit.
Yep.
Now she suddenly needs something from him to to get rich, basically. So then she needs this magic lottery ticket that's going to change her life.
Right.
But what she has to do to get that lottery ticket ends up biting her in the ass. And now she's stuck in this horrible ending. She gets her just desserts.
Just desserts, yeah.
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt was big on that. Like, you will not benefit from the awful things you do. It will come back to bite you. And this is a good
Nobody
example of
gets
that.
out clean in Tales
Right.
from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody that gets out clean with when you're doing a greedy thing. A note about Tales from the Crypt, because we keep referencing Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt started in 89. Freddy's Nightmares started in 89. So, like, it's not necessarily that this was trying to copy Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out for people. They're right at the same time they
Right.
come out on television. Like,
Yeah, the thing about it though is that because they're so close together, it's easy to compare them because they're
Right.
They're kind of trying to do the same thing. They're trying to be these horror anthology shows where every episode is a different story. One of those two series gets it right for the most part. One of them gets it wrong, and this is unfortunately you and I have chosen to watch
shit
the one where they get it wrong
the not
most of
good
the time,
one.
right?
Also, another comparison, the title, Lucky Stiff,
Yeah.
that feels like a Tales from the Crypt title.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
title.
it's ironic.
I love that
There's
title.
a double meaning to it.
Yeah.
right?
Lucky Stiff. That's
Yeah.
a great fucking title for an episode. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's good. But now moving on to the B episodes. This is the C and D plot.
Yeah.
So this episode is called Easy Come, Easy Go.
I don't trust you. You blackmailed me into marrying you. What's to stop you from killing me and inheriting all the money I won in the lottery?
I didn't marry you for your money. I love you, Greta. Ever since I first set eyes on you sneaking across that graveyard that night you killed your first husband.
Hank was my second husband.
I don't care how many there've been, just as long as I'm the last.
This is the follow-up to Lucky Stiff.
Yep.
Also a great title. I like that title. Easy Come, Easy Go. Some of the titles in Freddy's Nightmares just suck.
Right. But every once in a while.
Later.
Interior loft later.
Even Interior Loft is a terrible. That's a setting.
It says
It's not a script.
it's as plain and descriptive as
It's a descriptor. Yeah. Why don't they just call it apartment?
Right. yeah. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
that kind of is a little bit more artsy and
Right.
interesting. You know, like they made a horror movie called House.
Right.
You know, and it worked. But like Interior Loft,
Yeah.
room.
No,
Anyways,
because that sounds too good.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
even that.
Can't,
Yeah.
can't have that.
Okay, so easy come, easy go. So, the A plot, as you recall, she was blackmailed into marrying the disgusting groundskeeper, who's like cartoonishly disgusting. It's so over the top. He's got like gross teeth, and he looks gross, and he's like constantly dirty. Like he looks like he just finished digging someone's grave like an hour ago.
Right.
Like he always looks like this. Eugene. That is the gravedigger's name, Eugene. They really name him in this episode. So it opens with their terrible marriage, where she's cruel and mean to him, and you're almost meant to kind of feel bad for Eugene, but it's like, well, of course she's mean to him. He blackmailed her.
She doesn't like you.
Right. Okay, but Eugene is also not a good guy.
Right.
Like you blackmailed a woman into trying, like you're almost trying to force a woman to love you.
Yep.
That's fucked up. So it's like, I kind of see Greta's side on this.
They
you
both
know?
deserve each other.
And then Eugene has like, yeah, the whole thing is like, they're trying to make Eugene the good guy in this. And Eugene, he's got like a line where he's like, Greta, it wasn't about the money. I love you. This is about love for me. It's not about your money.
Right.
And of course, Greta's basically just like, ew, fuck you, get away from me. There's a clever little detail at the beginning of the episode. So they're in the mansion, and there's a walk-in freezer in the basement. In the walk-in freezer, we see Hank, which means Eugene actually dug that guy's body up and brought it to the house to use as like as evidence against Greta.
Yeah.
And they're storing it in the walk-in freezer. That's a clever little detail.
And if I remember correctly, they do not have her first husband, right? They don't have.
No, they don't have
right.
Lenny. Lenny's not in the husband or in the freezer. So
So
it wouldn't
he-
make any sense.
Yeah, so he just brought him back as a
He just brought Hank back. That's clever. And they actually got that actor to come back and wear the prosthetic.
Yep.
But they also get that actor to come back because out of nowhere, a guy shows up at the mansion, Wes,
Yes.
who is Hank's identical twin brother.
Yep.
Sure.
Why
Why
not?
not? Yeah. Why not indeed? Yeah.
Freddy's Nightmares.
And yeah, I went back and I did check, and it is the same actor, Richard Eden, who also played RoboCop
Like on the TV show?
in the TV
Oh,
show.
shit. All right.
He's the TV show RoboCop.
Oh, this is like acting royalty then.
Oh yeah, this is as good as it gets,
Richard
man.
Eden.
Yeah, I burst out laughing when I
Yep.
saw it. I was like, "What the fuck are the odds?" He was the RoboCop in the TV series. Not in RoboCop 3. I'm saying the
No.
TV show,
Yep.
which is maybe a little bit better than Freddy's Nightmares. Maybe
It is the Freddy's Nightmares
of the RoboCop
franchise.
That's probably the best way of putting it. Okay, so then Greta like instantly falls for Wes because he looks exactly.
He's dashing.
He's dashing and he's charming and
yeah, he is
he's
everything that
Eugene
was
and Lenny
were not.
Right.
Yep.
And she she's so good at lying at this point. She just like quickly lies where she's like, "Yeah, your brother Hank walked out on me and left me heartbroken."
Yeah.
She immediately was like playing like the sympathy card and like trying to like make him feel for her.
Yep.
She begins the seduction process almost immediately. Another note about Eugene that I thought was funny is he is at all times dressed as a groundskeeper.
Right.
In the entire episode, he is always in his groundskeeper attire. Every time he comes into the scene, he's still dressed in his work uniform. Does this man not have any relaxing clothes? Like
It's like his only value to the story is to be a caricature of himself.
right,
Like,
right. They have to like keep him in the same he's like a cartoon character.
Right. It's like in case we need you to remember that he's the dirty ditch digger.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So Greta begins seducing Wes. She even she does like a strip tease and like lingerie with like a garter belt and stockings, which this is a trope in movies and TV shows. Women don't all own this.
Yep.
I want to throw it, or do they?
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. Okay, so they don't.
Maybe
There
you
go.
and I
There's
just have never.
Well, I just find this so funny. It's like, in case of emergency and I need to seduce a man, just break out the garter belt and
Right.
stockings kit.
Right.
Is all and the sexy lingerie.
Right.
It's like all women have this kit,
Yeah.
waiting for when that identical twin brother shows up.
That's right.
Right. So she seduces Wes, and she's like. She doesn't say this, but for some reason I wrote it. Fuck me like your brother did. Ew. Because it's like, what? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like you're sleeping with the brother. That's so weird. And they're identical.
Yeah.
Ew.
And apparently like it works.
Yeah, apparently he does exactly what I just said. Wes then, Greta then now that she's like fucking Black Widowed him and like got him in the honey potted him.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, it's awful. I'm stuck married to Eugene. If only I could get rid of Eugene.
Right.
And then Wes takes like, I guess that pussy was
A tier.
top shelf because he takes like no convincing. He's just like,
All right.
I'll help you get rid of this
It's like
guy.
I was gonna kill him anyway.
Yeah. So they hatch this plan that's like really dark. They're going to knock Eugene out and pour alcohol down his throat and then just drive him off a cliff
Right.
to make it seem like he was drunk driving and then just like killed himself accidentally. Like
Yep.
that's pretty dark.
Yep.
Like we're going to Like, let's knock him out and then just like shove a bottle of alcohol down his throat.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's fucking ruthless. But then Wes, accidentally, for whatever reason, he goes down to the basement. He opens the cold cellar, or the walk-in freezer, and finds his brother's corpse. Understandably, he then goes ballistic, and he tries to kill Greta, but Eugene intervenes and kills him with a shovel and saves her.
Yeah. So the brother was there then. Okay. So I think we were talking about that because it's not just Hank. It's
Hank is Wes is Hank's brother, not Lenny's brother. Lenny is the first schlubby guy. Lenny was Squiggy. In the A plot, Lenny was the guy with the lottery ticket.
Yep.
Hank was the plumber.
Oh, right. It's her boyfriend's brother. That's right.
Yeah, it's the boyfriend's brother. It's the hunky guy.
I for a moment.
No, they're identical twins.
I was thinking it was Lenny's.
He had like a hunky. He had like a hot brother.
Yeah, but no. Lenny, you're gone. Buddy.
No, Lenny. Squiggy never comes back.
You've been long since forgotten.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So then Eugene saves Greta from Wes, which causes her to actually fall for Eugene, and then they fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, Eugene. That was incredible. I never thought it was possible to experience so much pleasure in so many ways. If only I'd known.
Oh my God, Eugene! So Eugene and Greta sleep together, and like she's now wooed by Eugene, which is fucking hilarious.
Yep.
And then to celebrate, they're like, "Oh, let's have some champagne." And Eugene grabs a glass of champagne, drinks the champagne, and starts choking and dying because it turns out that they not only were they going to pour like alcohol down his throat, they were going to poison the alcohol.
Yep.
And so they had already poisoned the bottle, and bum 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 bum.
They forgot. She forgot. Yep.
And so Eugene instantly dies.
Yep.
And then you got Greta, and it's kind of like, again, this is where it feels like a Tales from the Crypt episode, because cruel irony is a big thing in Tales from the Crypt.
Yep.
And this is a perfect example where it's like, okay, so now you fell for the good guy, but because you were trying to do the fucked up thing, that now
You lose that too. Yeah.
so it's like you created this poison bottle and you accidentally poisoned the good one. And it's funny because like you see this look under her face and she's kind of like, drat.
I got a note in here. I said, Eugene then drinks the poisoned wine that Greta forgets about. Greta then sighs as if to say, "Oh well, another husband dead."
Another dead husband.
At this point, she's just like collecting them at this point.
Right. And so then the B plot opens up, and it opens with a shot of her going into the walk-in freezer, and there's 3 bodies. Yeah.
Yep.
So we have Hank, the plumber,
Yep.
Wes,
His
and
brother,
Eugene, all in the freezer now.
Yep.
That's good attention to detail. That's good. That they did a good job with that one. So Greta's basically at this point just like, I gotta get the fuck out of this.
Yep.
Like I this is whatever juju's going on in this fucking area. I gotta get the fuck out. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. So then she withdraws all of her money and she decides to leave Springfield behind, probably for the best. Girl, you get the fuck out of there. But of course her flight is delayed and she'll have to stay another night. I have a note. Her mansion is like pure white. I don't know if you remember this. The set.
Yeah.
It's like something out of a music video.
I'll find it here, but I'm fairly certain I made a note about that.
It's just like it's actually interesting. I'm not actually faulting it because I don't have a lot to say about the set design and the cinematography in Freddy's Nightmare Season 2. This is one of the few episodes where the set was creative. Right. They went for this ultra minimalistic, like pure white aesthetic, and she's like wearing white too. Yeah. It's very much like clearly she took a good chunk of her money and built this place for herself.
Yep.
It's very much a reflection of what she wanted. It's her mansion.
Yep.
And it's got a cool look to it. I don't know. It's like something out of a music video.
Yeah, I mean, and anytime there's something that appears that isn't white, it's just a very stark contrast, right? So it jumps out, right?
And speaking of that, her sister randomly shows up with a man with an eye patch. He's her old flame who is now married to his sister.
Right.
Ew. Freddy's nightmares. You like to have everybody fuck each other for some reason.
There's only 17 people in the world, and they've got to cross over.
Yeah, in Springwood. Yeah. The Eye Patch Man. Do you have a note of who that is?
Who the actor was?
Yes.
No.
It is. I don't know if you'd recognize his name. Wings Hauser.
No.
Wings Hauser. He was in a lot of like random like cheesy direct-to-video shit.
Okay.
I can't think of any super notable role of his, but yeah, Wings Hauser, he's in shit. He's in
Okay.
some stuff. Yeah, nothing big.
I mean,
but
he's not Bob the Goon from Batman 89.
no, right, yeah. So then, Eye Patch Man and the sister are like they basically like invite themselves in for this visit,
Yeah.
and Greta's basically just like, I just want to leave. Like
Right.
they're uninvited guests, right? And they're like awkwardly making out in front of her all the time, and they're getting like super handsy, and Greta's just like cool, like this is fucking weird as shit.
Yeah.
We then get this hilarious flashback where Greta, we find out how Eye Patch Man came to be, and it's that it's like a younger version of them, and Eye Patch Guy has like both eyes, and Greta tries to break up with him, and he's like, no, you got to be with me. And she's like, get off of me. And then they have this struggle. Do you want to say what happens?
She slams Sonny's head onto the gear shift, which basically pops his eye out.
Right. She like, apparently this gear shift, like gear shifts with like a knob
ball
on
on the top,
yeah, that's so that you don't puncture your eyeballs.
Nope, apparently not.
Yes, but this one, whatever this vehicle was, whatever year this model was, it was a death trap, Mark, because they forgot to put on that ball. And so when she slams his head, it just like perfectly goes in his eye socket and takes his eye out.
Greta, you're my woman. You're my little girl. You're my princess.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You want
No,
to
I'm
bet?
not, Sonny.
Oh, God, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you for this, Greta.
And he's been bitter about it ever since, right? Like that all kind of leads into why he's here. He's been playing the long game, right? He dates her sister. He gets, are they married or they're engaged?
No, I think he's married to the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just so that eventually he can make his way back to Greta, right? Like I got to give the guy credit. He's putting in the time, right? For his revenge. Here.
I just find it hilarious that it's like they couldn't think of any other explanation. It's like a gear shifter went into his eye.
You know what though? The opposite would be they would do something that is so typical. Like he gets like stabbed in the eye or something. No. You are never going to see that ever again. Right.
Sure.
And maybe like that's the kind of thing that in real life would actually cause someone like something dumb that you never anticipate. When I saw that, I'm like,
sure.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? Like,
Okay, you're kind of winning me over.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
'Cause, yeah, you're right. I guess weird shit happens.
Like he fell on like some farm equipment and poked his eye out.
No, I was thinking like a champagne bottle, the cork went off and hit him in the eye.
Yes, there we go.
My explanation makes more sense to the gear shifter.
Yeah.
That's what that little ball's for. So then what happens next? Oh, so yeah, you're right. Eye Patch Guy is just Sonny. I guess you add his name. I just put him down as Eye Patch Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Sonny, he's like out for revenge, and he starts snooping around the mansion looking for something he can dig up his dirt. He of course discovers the 3 bodies in the walk-in freezer, and he immediately tries to blackmail her. So then she's like, okay, I know how I'll get out of this. And so she seduces Sonny, and then she just like shoots him. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy. I think that's odd. At this point, I kind of like Greta. Greta has won me over because Greta, she's not a good person, but she has gone through fucking hell at this point. Like so much shit has happened where I'm like, I feel like she's gotten her punishment 3 different times at this point. So I'm like, go on.
She realizes that like not killing this guy isn't going to change the fact that she's got 3 dead people in her basement already. So I might as well add a 4th because it's not going to change where I'm going if I get caught, right? So at this point, when she, the first death in the first episode, she took it really seriously and was really hit. Now she's just like, I don't care. Like,
At this point, she's seen it all.
3 or 4.
Yeah, what's
doesn't
another
matter.
body,
Yeah.
right? So then her sister walks in and is like, oh my God. And then Greta's like, don't worry, I'll split the money with you.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. And then there's a lame twist that at no point is this set up. The sister's just like, oh, well, actually, I'm crazy too, and I killed our parents. What?
Which, and I was trying to think back. Was there any reference to?
I
her
don't even
parents?
remember there
Like,
being something where it's like, oh, we tragically lost mom and dad. Maybe there was like one line.
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
in this episode they might have said something about.
Like it would have been in this. It wouldn't have
Yeah.
been in the A episode. It wouldn't have been in Lucky Stiff.
Yeah, but it certainly wasn't enough to make you think about her parents.
Right.
Like,
And it comes, so it comes out of nowhere. And then she just shoots and kills Greta.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode ends. Although that's a lame, I hate that ending. But I do like Greta has a funny line.
Easy come, easy go.
She says the name of the
This
episode.
the sister.
Greta gets shot, and then Greta's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm out. And then Greta's like, easy
Right.
come,
That's right. She says it,
easy
yeah.
go.
I
And then
got
she
it.
dies. And I was like, okay, all right, fine. But it's just one of those things where it's like, after all that,
Yeah, I have a note. In a classic demonstration of say the name of the show in the actual show, Greta utters "easy come, easy go" right before she keels over and dies.
yeah, she's like, easy come, easy go. Freddy's Nightmares, Nightmare on Elm Street, the series trademark, and then she died. Yeah,
Do you remember what Freddy says in the bumper right
I'm
after?
getting to it. So then, I just want to quickly recap the long tale of Greta.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. So, this is because
You know what? Actually, I like this episode more than I did.
yeah.
This is better.
Greta goes through like a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So this is Greta's story, and it becomes fun to watch. So she goes from cheating on her loving husband with the plumber named Hank to selfishly trying to retrieve the late husband's lottery ticket to then killing the scumbag plumber Hank she was having an affair with, which leads to her being blackmailed by Eugene the gravedigger and then later seducing the plumber Hank's twin, Wes, to help her kill Eugene. But then she gets saved by Eugene when Wes tries to kill her, to accidentally poisoning and killing Eugene, leading to her with 3 bodies in a walk-in freezer in her basement and being blackmailed again, this time by her eye patch wearing ex Sonny, who she later shoots and kills, to then being killed by her own sister, who it turns out is a psychopath all along, and killed both their parents when they were younger.
Yep.
Easy go, easy come, easy go, indeed.
Yeah.
It's great. And then we get the there's actually 2 notable Freddy things.
Yeah.
So the first notable Freddy thing, it's actually one of the, there's hardly any what I'll call Freddy effects in season 2. Season 1 has a couple. Season 2 has like none. They didn't even, it's like, I guess they cut the budget, maybe, like you were saying. I don't know. I didn't look into that. Did you look that up? Did the budget got cut?
I didn't, but just looking at the,
You just assumed?
yeah, like
Usually shows get more money. They don't usually take it away unless you're doing something
right,
wrong.
you're
Yeah.
on life support at that
Right.
point. Yeah.
So there's a cool effect at the beginning of this episode. Freddy has like a flamethrower claw.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
He's like sitting there, and there's like, you can see the little flame, almost like a barbecue lighter on the tip of one of his claws, and then it turns into like a big flame.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was a neat effect. I liked that. The end cap of this episode. Why don't you just say it, Mark? How does this end? So like Greta dies, easy. She goes, easy come, easy go. Cut to Freddy, and
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Like very much a Porky Pig outro. Yeah.
I couldn't believe
Yeah.
they did that. They literally they go, because like, what is Freddy gonna say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that Greta, she should have blah blah blah. It's like,
Yeah.
no. They're just like, fuck it, Freddy.
It's over.
Do Porky Pig.
Yep.
Sure, why not? That made me laugh. There you go.
I had a couple things like, so Greta, actress name Mary Crosby. I feel like this was a vehicle to try to get her career going or something, because more so than in any other actor in any of these episodes, they seem to like really want to push her forward in this. So I don't know if she ever became anything that I know of. So I guess it didn't work.
usually, when I would watch episodes, I usually would look up the main people to see if they were in something else that I would recognize them from. Yeah, there's one pretty notable cameo coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah.
Season 1 had a lot more. Okay, just sorry guys, there's no Brad Pitt. Like
No,
there's none of that.
unfortunately.
There's
Yeah.
none of that. There's not. What was the other? There was a couple big cameos in season 1. We had Brad Pitt.
Yeah, like Mariska Hargitay. She did Law and Order. For
Oh
a
right,
long
you
time.
knew that one. Lar
Park
Lincoln
had been in a
Yeah.
number of movies, horror movies. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Wasn't there one other bigger? I feel like there was a couple other bigger cameos. Whatever.
Yeah.
It had more. Season 1 had more cameos. There wasn't as many in season 2.
The interesting thing about this pairing of episodes, though, is usually it's not the same character from story A to story B, C, D,
And
right?
that's why it gets my number 4 and number 3 slot. It was the best example in this season, in my opinion, of the A, B, C, D plot all flowed really nicely. And it was the same protagonist. At no point, Greta doesn't die after the first episode. Now we're following Eugene.
Right.
It's like, it's always Greta. She goes through it all.
But I'm going to counter that and say that that's one of the things that I think took a few points off of it for me, because now you're getting into feature-length movie territory, and there is not enough here for 88 minutes.
No,
right?
I think if you cut out the B part of of Lucky Stiff and just went like A to C, I think you'd have a really good episode.
Yep.
Like if there's almost a perfect episode hiding in here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It needs to be a little tighter.
Yeah. But there's like a perfect episode of Tales from the Crypt hiding in here in the 2 episodes. So you'd have to somehow chop them together. But yeah.
Just a quick, if you want to get an idea of the quality of Freddy's Nightmares or the lack thereof, jumping back to your A story, there was a moment where Eugene and Greta both say their lines at the same time. And obviously it was a mistake, but they didn't reshoot the scene. So there's a moment where, and I made a note about it. In typical low budget fashion, Eugene and Greta both say their lines. So she says Eugene while he's also saying, "Are you all right?" And they overlap.
Are you all right?
I think so.
They could have said cut and then done it again, but they just like, fuck it. And they just left it in.
When was this?
So,
because I have to find this clip now, obviously, because I don't know when this was. What was this? What
tries to strangle Greta before Eugene saves her and smashes Hank over the head.
Oh,
with
so
the
it's
shovel.
right
So
at the
it's
end of the episode.
Yeah, right
Okay.
when
All right.
and then all of a sudden they kind of.
All right, cut to Mark's flub right here.
Are you all right?
I watched it a couple times. I'm fairly certain I caught it. I'm like, were you supposed to like wait for each other? No, they just talk over each other, and then you can't hear either one of their lines.
Yeah,
really,
but Mark, people talk over each other in real life.
but not in Freddy's Nightmares. Freddy's Nightmares is top shelf production value.
Exactly.
Yep.